Welcome to M Squared TechCast, a live show offering the latest news and interviews with the people driving business, technology, and politics in Michigan. Now, your hosts, Matt Roush and Mike Brennan.
Well, hey, it's Matt Roush.
And Mike Brennan.
And we're back with another segment of the M Squared TechCast right here at podcastdetroit.com.
Yeah, we have with us Tran from AccelerateKID. And he's going to be talking about a new book that he's coming out with, I believe, in August, right?
That is correct.
And it's going to help K-12 educators teach computer science. So tell us all about creating future creators.
Well, I want to say, first of all, thanks for having me back again. I always love talking to you guys. You guys are always in the forefront of technology, but also teaching technology. And that's why I'm here today. Our book, AccelerateKID's latest venture here is called Creating Future Creators. It's going to be a series. The first one is called a Java Handbook for Educators. And the whole purpose there is to get kids kindergarten to 12th grade teachers who even teaching middle school most likely are the one that are going to get kids ready for computer science when they get to high school. So this is going to teach them everything we've been doing for the last 6 years at AccelerateKID. And we feel we have the expertise, and our curriculums are all STEM.org accredited, which means that our curriculum are pretty well out there and fully studied as well as fully written to get teachers doing what most schools are trying to do, is to get kids understanding about how to use technology, how to program, and how to do gamification.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking at the reports that came out from the Michigan Technology, I would get the MTBB or whatever it is, from the state. Never get that right. Anyway, and I was looking at Southeast Michigan and looking at what the top job categories would be going forward. And it's elementary and secondary school teachers that can teach STEM-related topics is one of the big things that there's a great need for out there, right?
That is very true. As a matter of fact, our book is a novel/handbook. So the reason why we did that was because how do we get the teachers interested in reading something like this? Especially most of the teachers are getting back to school starting in the fall. They do some professional development. So we thought that, let's make a book about a teacher. So the whole novel is based on a teacher who's coming from San Francisco to Detroit, and she's family is from Detroit, and she's a math teacher by trade. And when she landed at the Detroit Public School, she got handed a job of, hey, you're doing a coding club. It's actually happens quite often since we've been doing this for the last 6 years in the southeast area of Detroit, where we saw teachers are handed the jobs of teaching coding and they're not familiar with it. So our goal was to kind of put it in a perspective that has happened, and it's actually somewhat factual in regards to what the teacher has gone through. But the whole point is that anyone can learn, and our book is for them to be intermediate programmers.
All right, so did you write the book? Did you have someone write it? Oh, okay.
Well, actually, we have a team of writers.
All right.
So we have technical writers who write our curriculums for the last, our AccelerateKID, we teach kids kindergarten to 8th grade about computer science, robotics, game design, and digital arts. We have centers around the southeast area of Michigan. So we've been writing curriculums for the last 6 years since we've been around. We took it to the next step. We said, hey, how can we be able to reach more teachers instead of kids, but teachers? So we thought this book was the way to do it. And most of my staff, Nick Carter is our main author on the book, and he has written not only our technical curriculums, but you'll see some of his experience in working with teachers as well.
Why don't we back up a little bit? This may be the first time that people have heard of AccelerateKID. Why don't you explain that more detail?
Yeah. So AccelerateKID started in 2013, and one of the things our main mission is to get young people, kindergarten to 8th grade, understanding about technology, education, and entrepreneurship. And the whole goal there was to create future innovators in our community who loves gaming. And we understand that a lot of kids are very fluent with technology these days, but what are you going to do with it? That's the question. I mean, they play games all the time with it, and we understand that. And we understand that there's a lot of studies out there that show that kids who participate in some type of coding activity once a day have shown better result in assessment testing for math, arts, as well as science. So this have studies by code.org has shown that. And so because of that, we felt like we need to do more than just show kids how to play games. We teach them how to create the games. And I just want to do one of the things that has been said is that esports is becoming a varsity legal varsity
No, it
sport.
sure is.
Oh, I
And
didn't
so-
know that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so what that means is that State Michigan have accepted that. That means that all these kids who are wanting to look at esport as a professional player, 1-2% of them will probably become professional players. But what can you do? You can't. You can create the next game. You can become the next graphic designer. There's so many other avenues within that same industry that you can do. And that's one of the reasons why AccelerateKID's here, is to provide kids the opportunity to be ready before high school to do what they might be loved to do.
So,
Yeah, and there are careers in this. I mean, very lucrative ones too. We have, and I'm going to mention my employer, Lawrence Tech.
Get that
here.
bell ready.
Okay, yeah. But we've got a couple of majors there. We have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Game Art.
Yeah.
Really?
We also have a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with a concentration on game software development. And there's a whole gaming club and culture at LTU, and we are far from the only school that does this, but we're pretty good at it. There are game jams, weekend game jams there all the time, which are essentially marathon 48-hour game development programs. We have a gaming club that exhibits every year at a big event, the games they create. And there's also something called Infinite Machine. That's the game development club, and it sort of refers to the fact that people are always graduating and new people are coming in. So, but we have our alumni come back and talk to the current students about what their careers are. And some of them are working for game development companies, but most of them aren't. They're working for everything from Quicken Loans to the Federal Reserve to the Armed Forces even. I mean, they're
The ultimate game,
yeah,
right?
people, all of these young people play games now, right? Whether casual or more involved, and that's how you train people now. Is you have them play games. I mean, that's if you're confronted with this situation, what do you do? And it's a matter of following the federal banking guidelines. But they turn that into a game. For heaven's sake.
I have to also add a plug to Lawrence Tech if you want to ring the bell.
Okay. Well, no, it's not your employer.
Well, the thing about it is that I believe Lawrence Tech's got globally is one of the top game design university.
Yeah,
out
we're ranked. We're up there.
So,
Yeah.
so I can tell you that that's a good population, that you're creating really good game designers.
Yeah. And this whole esports thing, we have a relationship with a television production company called Yellow Flag Productions that does a bunch of high school sports shows, and they're now covering esports as a high school sport. The MHSAA is somewhat resistant to it, but a lot of other states are not. And there are colleges now that have varsity esports teams that will give you a scholarship to go play esports for your college team. And they play a game called League of Legends, and there's
That's one of them.
there's a couple other games that they play. And we hosted a tournament for high schools at Lawrence Tech. We've done it like 3 years in a row now, and it's really funny to see two teams at tables on either side of a auditorium stage with a giant screen in the middle that's showing the game as it's being played. I'm there taking pictures. I have no idea what's going on, but all I know is that there's 200 people in the audience going absolutely crazy when something big happens, because they know what's going on.
It's like Battleship on a much larger scale, right?
And in the virtual world.
Yes,
And,
right.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the next thing, is everybody will have VR goggles on and be able to sit in and watch it that way.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. I mean, that's coming. Unity, one of the folks that participated with us in our big conference in the spring, that's their big thing, is 3D. So
Yeah, Unity is one of the top game development platforms.
all right,
So,
yeah. So I get Greg Melling's always sending me stuff. So be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Well, we actually have our camp this week at Washington Community College is in Unity 3D game design.
Really?
So we got a good number of kids there, and we've also teach at our summer camps at our location as well. So Unity is one of those games, but you also talk about Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite. They're opening up those platforms so that kids can create the games, the next arenas, using those games. So you don't have to play. If you know how to play it, that's kudos. But then if you can create the next game in that platform, it's another level.
All these products have a shelf life. People, they master them, they get bored. What's next,
Exactly.
So,
and that's where AccelerateKID comes in, as a matter of fact. I mean, we don't want to focus on how you play the game, but how you create it, because eventually that technology, although the technology and platform might change, But creating the server is going to be the same thing. Being able to find the right IP address, making sure that you have the URL, having the security in there. I mean, those are all going to be something you're going to be using regardless if it's going to be gaming or web server or network server. So those are the type of things that we try to make sure the kids understand, the fundamentals. And all of our program are not only teaching them the technology, but also the 21st century skill set. That's critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communications. And those are the things you don't learn when you're learning things online. This is the social aspect that we believe AccelerateKID provide, not only learning the technology.
So you have a book.
Yep.
You've got to do a book tour or a book launch event or that kind of thing.
I told him he needed to bring a copy to hold up.
Your video doesn't work.
Camera,
right. So are you doing a launch event or a tour or anything
yes,
like that?
actually, there's 2 big events coming up. August 5th, we're going to launch it first on Amazon. We're going to do an ebook first. And the whole goal there is so that we can show that within our space, which is computer science, we feel like we have a top-notch book that will hopefully be a bestseller. From there, in a month from there, in September, we're going to do a book party out at Tech Town. Our partner and our nonprofit foundation, AccelerateKID Foundation, which is an arm of our company, is based on Tech Town. So we're going to have the party there, so that way we can start working with first the Detroit Public School District.
Interesting. And we got about 3 minutes left. Now, you got any summer camps coming up you want to talk about that are still available?
Yes, we actually have quite a bit. Every week from now to the end of August, we have summer camps going at our 2 locations, one in Wixom, one in Madison Heights. And then we have summer classes going on as well. But all the camps revolves around Java, Python, Fortnite, Roblox, and then we got 3D printing and building your own computers. So all these are very popular, but we also work with a lot of partners, private schools, charter schools, and public schools to provide this technology, including the one I just talked about, the Unity 3D game design.
Yeah, sounds great. And how do kids find out about that? If they want to check these camps out, where do they go?
Go to our website, is AccelerateKID.com. And if you want to learn more about the book, it's AccelerateKID.com/teach.
Okay, so we got a little less than 2 minutes left. Tell us a little bit more about AccelerateKID in general, how you came to establish this organization.
So our main focus there was, again, to get young kids, kindergarten to 8th grade, who loves gaming, who loves technology, an opportunity to learn about technology education, which we call tech ed, and entrepreneurship. Now, everyone talks about, well, is entrepreneurship really building your own company? Our focus on entrepreneurship is the characteristic of being an entrepreneur, and that, again, is being able to think creatively, critically, working with others and as collaboration, and also be able to pitch ideas. Because you might have the greatest ideas in sliced bread, but if these kids can't get people excited about who they are or what they do, it's kind of hard. So that's one of the things we focus on in all of our camps, classes, and clubs.
Additional 4-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life, but LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.